So one of the things you're going to see in the strategic plan when we completely unveil it after we get this great advice from doing these dinners is that, again, we're proud of what we've done, and we're redoubling some of our bets, and we're addressing some of the things like undergraduate infrastructure that need to be addressed. But by virtually any measure, we're pretty happy where we are. Look at undergraduate admissions. I mean, this is a school that 5 years ago, we had 16,000 applicants. We had 31,000 this year. You know, and not only that, but the number of brilliant young men and women from the best public and private high schools in the world who want to come to Northwestern, as demonstrated by the fact they take themselves off the market, right? And they apply early. And we're not early action, where you can shop the market in the spring. We're early decision. And it was just, you know, just from last year to this year, the number of kids who we call academic ones, you know, close to perfect ACTs and SATs, you know, kids who not only could get into a range of Ivies, but would have a real good shot at the Big Four, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Stanford, who said, no, I want to go to NU. With the investments we've made in undergraduate infrastructure, we've been spending $20 million a year. You know, if you don't believe it, go to Bob and McCullough, go to Lincoln and Elder, go to Rogers or Evans Scholars, or this year go and see what we do for Allison or what we did for Willard Dining Hall. I think we might have fallen into the trap of a lot of universities to have deferred maintenance for undergraduate infrastructure. You know, at $20 million a summer, you know, in a couple of years, we're going to completely address that problem. By any measure, you know, we're a very hot school, whether it's in research, whether it's in teaching. Graduate programs hotter than ever. So again, if you say, well, what's the strategic vision and why don't we have a bolder change in course, is because by any measure, I don't know a single measure that would indicate that we're in the wrong path. We're doing better against our peers in virtually every measure of anything we do at Northwestern. So we're a great research university. And if you come here, you're going to be taught by professors who not only wrote the textbooks, but wrote what's in the textbook. We're cutting edge in basically everything we do, not just our 6 undergraduate schools, but in all 12 of our schools, right? So that puts us in a member of a very small club. I'm used to sort of a world where people put on a big push to get, you know, publish a lot, and then they get tenure, and then they kind of, you know, they're a little burned out, and sometimes they get a second win a couple of years later. Boy, not at Northwestern. It's amazing how research active they are immediately after getting tenure. But remember, the thing I was most amazed was the vast majority of them were very serious undergraduate teachers, really serious undergraduate teachers. And that is really unusual, folks, because a lot of times the universities specialize. They farm out a lot of the undergraduate teaching program to adjuncts and visitors, and the great research faculty are pretty much protected from the undergrads. And that's simply not the case by and large at Northwestern University. It's not that we can't be any better, but again, if we're going to really move and help define the space of brilliant faculty and a school that's positively obsessed with undergraduate education, that's a niche that really can resonate with our peer institutions, against our peer institutions, and with the market at large. So that's throughout the strategic plan. A lot of it is how do we use Chicago more effectively? A lot of it is how do we use Evanston more effectively? You know, one thing that I really find surprising coming in from the outside is why we never celebrated the fact that Evanston is one of the great college university towns in America. And I think about the other schools, you know, against which we compete for undergraduate students, for faculty, for staff, and for graduate and professional students. And I think about what a great venue, what a great diverse city Evanston is. And, you know, you could go out this building and you can see downtown Chicago. And, you know, I love that. I think that we could capitalize on that more. And a large part, actually, of the strategic plan is really how do you take advantage of this incredible locational advantage that we have. More optimistic than ever, the more I learn as I complete almost now 2 years as president of Northwestern. I'm prouder to have that role. I'm prouder to be a faculty and a staff member than I ever was. As I learn more about it, I think there's more that perhaps I can contribute with my incredible team of senior staff. And I think absolutely the sky's the limit. There's nothing I particularly worry about the future, even though there's always challenges. I think there's a lot of goodwill in this community, and we are blessed with a spectacular staff, an unbelievable faculty, and a great alumni body, great board of trustees. We're in a great town, and boy, do we have students to die for.